Welcome to the Brass and Woodwind Shop. It is very common for brass mouthpieces to get dents in them, and usually the dents occur at the end of the mouthpiece in the shank, and the shank is the part that goes into the instrument. The reason that dents are so common is because mouthpieces are made out of leaded brass, and what that is brass with some lead mixed in there, and the lead softens the brass. When a mouthpiece is dropped, there's a good chance it's going to get a dent in it, and if the dent occurs in the shank, it's easy to fix. Here is a set of 3 Mouthpiece Arbors. The smallest one works on French horn and cornet mouthpieces. The next size up works on trumpet and trombone, at least small shank trombone mouthpieces. And the largest one works on large shank trombones and tubas. The Mouthpiece Arbor has a cylindrical end, and that gets chucked into the bench motor to hold on to the arbor. The other part of the arbor is tapered, and it is tapered at the same taper as the inside of mouthpieces, so it fits onto the mouthpiece, and it holds the mouthpiece into place when you're trying to work on it. Here are some mouthpieces with some dents in the end. This is the least dented. It has 2 different dents, one there and one there, where the metal has gotten flattened out a little bit. It's supposed to be round, but 2 of the sides are flattened, and those ones are easy to remove. The next most difficult one is this one, and that is out of round, and there are several places where it's out of round. So this one is a little bit worse than this one, but still not hard to fix. This one is going to be a little bit harder to fix because it got dented pretty badly, and this end is tapered in, and this is still probably fixable. It may crack. Sometimes you get cracks in the end of the shank when you remove dents that are too bad, but really the mouthpiece cannot be used that way. The instrument will not play like it's supposed to with a mouthpiece like this. You may risk cracking the end of the shank, but really they need to be taken out, and a small crack on the end of the shank is better than a mouthpiece like that. The other mouthpiece is not really fixable. There's a chunk out of it, and it has a few other dents in it. This mouthpiece is in very bad condition. This one in theory could be used the way it is, but it is in such bad shape, and there's so many dents all over it, and the rim of the mouthpiece is really dented up too. This one should probably just be recycled and melted down into another piece of brass, or it can be used on a junk instrument that's being used for decoration, but that's probably about all this mouthpiece is good for right at this point. It's very helpful to have a bench motor to do this job, but you do not need one. You can put this in a vise if you need to. The bench motor also is good because you can use it for polishing the mouthpieces too. This is a small rawhide mallet, and along with the arbors, this is really about the only tool you're going to need to do this job. This is a trombone mouthpiece with the 2 flat sides on it. So what I'm going to do is put it on the arbor like that, and then I'm going to tap this as I'm turning it around. That's about all it takes to get the dents out of that mouthpiece. The first mouthpiece I did was clean, but these are dirty inside, so I'm going to clean those up before I get the dents out. I cleaned out the inside of the mouthpieces. Now I'm going to get the dents out of this one. There, I'm going to push it on. See, this is a very simple job, and just about anyone can do it. It helps to have a bench motor because you can easily turn it around. If you do not have a bench motor, you can put it in a vise. Then you'll just need to turn the mouthpiece as you're tapping on it. So that's a lot better. I'm going to tap it one more time, and I'm pushing it on there so that it goes on there well. And that looks good. Here's the mouthpiece that was really bad. That will not fit on there very well, so I'm going to put on the smaller Mouthpiece Arbor. Then I'm going to expand that a little bit so that it will fit onto the other one. I'm going to use the Rawhide mallet to tap this one, but I'm not just going to tap it all the way around again. I'm going to tap on the high spots, at least at first. So wherever there's a high spot, I'm going to tap that down. As I'm tapping on this, the end of the mouthpiece is opening up a little bit farther and farther. So what I'm also doing is with my other hand, I am pushing the mouthpiece on to the arbor farther. So I'm going to tap on it on the high spots. and you can see it going in a little bit, so I'm going to keep tapping on the high spots. Let's see what we have. It's a little better than it was. I'm also watching for cracks, and yeah, it is cracking a little bit. I thought it probably would, but I'm going to continue to tap on that. Okay, it's getting better. It is still tapered. It looks round, and it is, but it's a tapered round. So I'm going to have to get rid of that taper by tapping it on farther. I'm going to push that on too. Okay. This mouthpiece does have a pretty bad crack in it. So what I'm going to do is tap that down. So now the mouthpiece is round, but it's very jagged at the end and it has a lot of cracks. This mouthpiece would work, but it's no longer a good mouthpiece because of that. So if you can afford another one, it's probably a good idea just to replace it, but if you need to use it, you can. With a file, you can file down the jagged end so it's not quite as sharp at the end, but at this point it still will not be a very good mouthpiece. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more band instrument repair videos, and also look in the description below for links to where you can get the Rawhide Mallet and the Mouthpiece Arbors. And also look in the description below for links to related videos.